everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the beginner Pilates program. I have 2 new exercises to introduce to you today. The first one is back extension, which we're going to do down on our front, and then we're going to do an exercise for the core on our back. And then on day 3, we're going to add the 2 exercises that we did yesterday and the 2 exercises that we've learned today, and we're going to put them together to create quite an effective little whole body workout. So you're going to come down onto your front for our first exercise, and if you have something to rest under your forehead, by all means use that, a cushion, something like that. Otherwise, you're just going to look down at your mat and you're going to bring your arms out so that your elbows are in line with your shoulders, and then your forearms are extended forward so your wrists are directly above your elbows. Now we're going to bring the toes, the big toes together, and just let the heels drop out to the side. And then I want you to give your bum cheeks a little squeeze and push your pelvis down into the mat. This is going to ground your lower body. We want to try and keep the lower body still for this exercise. So here we're working into the lower back. So we're going to take a breath in, and then as you breathe out through your mouth, you're going to lift your chest away from the floor, and then you're going to breathe in to lower back down. So we breathe out to lift, and we breathe in to lower down. So a few things to note as you move through this exercise. You want to avoid pushing into the floor with your forearms. So you want to try and use your lower back here to do the work. So you're not pushing up with the arms, you're lifting your chest using your lower back. Now the neck, when we lift the chin, we create a false sense that we're doing back extension. So try to keep the movement from the spine. So I suggest keeping your eyes down as if you're reading a book. So here you should start to feel this in the lower back. Try to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Try to keep the lower body down on the floor. Now, if you want to make this a little bit more challenging, you can lift the forearms just slightly away from the floor, almost like they're just floating off. So we don't have to lift higher, and you can feel there's a huge difference between those 2 levels. And certainly if you were pushing with the forearms in the previous level, you'll know about it now, because this will feel a lot harder. Good, well done. Let's just take one more. Good, and then we're just going to bring the hands here under the shoulders. We're going to lift up onto the hands and knees, and we're going to take a cat stretch. This is a nice release stretch from that previous exercise. So we did this yesterday as part of one of our exercises. So we're just going to squeeze the chin into the chest, lift the tailbone, tuck the tailbone underneath, and just feel that release stretch along the spine. Now from here, we're going to flip ourselves over onto our back, and we're going to do a core exercise. So you're going to come down onto your back, and you're going to lay with your feet flat to the floor and your knees raised, your hands down by your side. Now, yesterday in day 1, we talked about this rib to pelvis connection, tilting the pelvis back, tailbone underneath, so that you can feel your lower back come down towards the mat. Now, this just helps to keep the pelvic area under control. If when you tilt your pelvis here, your lower back doesn't come all the way down, and it doesn't for some people, you can pop a towel or something like that underneath your lower back if you wish to, if you feel like you want something to push against when you bring your legs up. That's just a little tip. So from here, we're going to start by bringing one leg up into tabletop. So again, the knee is over the hip, the shin is parallel to the ceiling. And then keeping this rib to pelvis connection here, we're going to bring the opposite leg up. So we've got both legs up in tabletop. Now you want to try and relax the neck and shoulders as much as you can. So we're going to take a breath in, and again, as we breathe out, we're going to hinge forwards with just one leg, tapping the foot to the floor, breathing in as we come back to our start position, breathing out as we tap, and again, come back. So this is the exercise. We just keep moving from side to side. I think it's an underestimated exercise. This is a lot harder than it looks. Now, a few things to note. When you hinge forwards here, try not to bend at the knee. So a common mistake is that people actually bend the knee. Imagine you've got a tennis ball behind the back of each knee, so you can't bend the knee. So it's a hip hinge. There's a 90-degree angle remains in the knee. Now, if you find that as you're coming forwards with the leg here, that it's too much for your lower back, if it's a bit painful, you don't have to tap all the way. You can just hinge a little. Yeah, if you've not done any exercise for a long time, or you've got any kind of lower back pain when bringing the foot to the floor, then go to this level. There's no harm in this, and you can build then progression, bringing that foot a little bit closer to the floor over the days and the weeks. If you're quite comfortable at getting the foot down to the floor and you want a little bit more challenge, then you can start to tap the feet further away from you. So you're lengthening what we call the lever being your leg. Your legs are very heavy, as I'm sure you're probably starting to notice. So they create a huge amount of resistance for the core. So if we just lengthen the leg a little bit more, we've got more weight we're adding, so it's more for the core to have to manage to lift back up. Good, well done. So we'll take one more to each side, try and keep the neck and shoulders relaxed. And then again, we take a little stretch here. And the stretch that people most enjoy after that is a little hug of the knees. So just drawing the knees in towards the chest and having a little rock around. So that is quite a challenging exercise. Bring the feet mat down, and then we'll just come back up. Good, so I hope you enjoyed those two exercises. In tomorrow's session, we're going to put 4 base exercises that we've done so far in the program together, and you'll see how just those 4 exercises make really quite a good, strong, all-body, full-body workout. So I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Take care.